I do have a follow-up to the whole our Orcs ist thing, and now they're just going after all of D&D. Hello everyone, I am still Mecha Random 42, and that's a spaceship sound, because guess what might have been out and released into the public? We don't know yet. We're talking about D&D. D&D? Alright, D&D. I'll talk about D&D. I am not a D&D player. I've tried. I just can't. I am more the type of person, I can play Knights of Pen and Paper as long as I can click on the thing and don't have to keep track of math and don't have to play a game with other people. I'm fine. But apparently, people are upset that D&D, alright, they're just going D&D, blah, 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 blah. They're just doubling down on this crap. And I love this tweet. This is why no one wants you in their hobbies. This person, people who are sad to learn that orcs are ist caricature should perhaps consider that D&D's alignment system makes it impossible, blah, 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 blah. You're putting your own projection of real world, current, modern events and modern ideals on something that is not that. This is fantasy. This is make-believe. Yeah, you're going to take a little inspiration from something. And you're going to take a little inspiration from another thing. And I'm a big Babylon 5 fan. Here's where this comes in. Babylon 5 has two races. One are the Centauri, one are the Narn. And they are very much inspired by the conflicts of Israel, Palestine, a lot of other, you could even say Japan, China, Mongol. You could say that they're inspired by a lot of different countries if you look at it, but they're not just a copy and paste, this is this allegory. No, they're taking a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this thing and a little bit of this thing. And they make it so that in a science fiction universe or a fantasy universe or setting, you can escape the real world and maybe learn something about the real world based on the allegories. If you think that this is something to be offended by, then perhaps you're not somebody who even likes these things. See, this is like somebody going around. I got 4 thoughts on this. I'm going to try and keep them all focused here. This is like somebody coming in saying, oh my god, anime is full of underage looking characters and you just want to fap to them. This is pretty much the same thing, which translates to, I don't like anime, but we're in a no negativity society, so I can't just say I don't like it. I have to find something wrong with it and demonize it. That's all this is right now. That is what I hear. Anytime somebody complains about this, this tells me, A, you don't like the thing, which is fine. Just say you don't like it. Just say, hey, I don't like Dungeons and Dragons either. It's okay to not like it. I don't like that type of game. I am not going to sit there and call out people who do like it by calling them a bunch of ists or phobes or whatever because I don't like something. And that's exactly what's happening with these people. Every time I see this is the same thing. This is people, a lot of Karens.
Drop the taco, get in the car.
A lot of Karens going around saying, oh my god, that's so offensive. I don't like this. Oh my god, I don't like Star Wars. I don't like this. This is why we get all these articles. Finally a Star Wars for women. Or finally this or that. And it's because you don't like these things, which is fine. Nobody's saying you have to, and I get it. The geek culture has been the thing that's prominent for the past decade. Probably since around 2007. I get it. It's okay to not like it, and nobody is going to think just be strong enough in your convictions and say, you know what, I don't like this. This isn't for me. You don't have to go around demonizing everything. And that's what really gets me. And also, thank you so much. Horror Glory, $5 super chat. Harry Sexy, well, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. And anything you guys do say will be on the video here. And Dr. Alex, if they're worried about isms in the source material, and they are almost undoubtedly blind to the historical context, they definitely should be pointed at Call of Cthulhu. Captain MKG, I have one word for these people. Bye! Olivia Kirby, I joined a D&D group specifically so I could set up a social justice group. OLM, Orc Lives Matter. That's what it feels like, that a lot of these people... Seriously, this is a racist sentiment. People that are chaotic people is a racist sentiment. Oh my god, shut up. Shut up. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? What does it matter in this day and age? Just say you don't like it and move on. Brianne Williams, I'm not into D&D, but I appreciate the players because they have a lot of creativity. Well, it's a different sort of genre, sort of thing. There's a lot to it other than just the basic character identities and profiles and things. And I know enough about it to know that for me, it's basically the gameplay. I don't want to sit there with a bunch of people either in the same room or online playing a game for months and months or years on end of the same character for hours on end where it's all make-believe in your head. You know, there's no interaction. There's nothing to do. It's all, you've got to manually keep track of your character sheets. You have to manually roll dice. It's very, very dull for me. And I'm okay with saying that. And I'm okay with saying that that's your thing. If you like it, that's your thing. I'm not going to call it Eastern phobic if I don't like it, because there's a million things that you could complain about Dungeons and Dragons without going into this. And these people are just not confident in what they like and dislike, because this is where we're at in the post. I'm going to use Robert Meyer Burnett's term here. He calls it the post-geek singularity, which is where pretty much everybody likes something geek related. The Marvel movies are the mainstream. Everybody knows superheroes, everybody knows Star Wars, everybody knows some geek franchise. And the fact that we're in this society where everybody thinks they're geeks, but then they come in and they change stuff. And we see this in video games as well. And I'm going to get into that on another video too that I'm clipping from this stream with The Last of Us stuff, where you get this culture of people who actually don't like these properties. And they have to do whatever they can to go and change them and bend them to their own liking. Same thing with Star Wars, same thing with Star Trek. We see it all the time. Finally, there's a Star Trek for me. Finally, there's a Star Wars that I can like. And you know what? That would be like me saying, you know what would be really, really great if we took away all of the CGI fight sequences from every superhero movie and just made them all the Joker. How many people would hate me for that, for saying that? Because I liked the Joker because it didn't have a lot of the superhero stuff that I kind of tune out of, because that's just not my thing. And I could appreciate other aspects of the comic book movies, but at the end of the day, I'm definitely more Star Trek and Star Wars, and I'm definitely more Babylon 5 and those sort of things. And I like something with a sense of humor. My tastes are kind of all over the place, but I can still say, hey, I don't like something, but it's okay if you do. Also, thank you so much, Batgoat. A couple of orcs stole my kid's bike. Batgoat. I hope that's not true. Also, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Now I can just see an orc just kind of driving down the street. I see the guy from Necrogoblicon when I think of orcs, and I know it's a completely different thing. But this is me. I'm not a big fantasy person either. I love the Dark Crystal, but that's about it. I just saw Matthew Hooker, holy crap, orcs are super ist as well, so they don't have any obvious women characters. So offended. Right. And my only dealing with orcs is when I go into Skyrim and I gotta deal with these orc people, and then I kept getting arrested because they're like, oh, go into this place. And I go into the guy's house, and my bad, it was the middle of the night. Oopsie, it was the middle of the night, so I didn't realize that, and I kept getting arrested. Also, thank you so much, Syntaxis Dogmata. I gotta jiggle. Thanks for being a much needed voice of reason in these dark, twisted times, Mecha. Well, thank you. I try. I take a lot of inspiration from people I view are smarter than me, people like George Carlin and a lot of musicians. I have never been one of these people who just blindly follows anything. This is why I can kind of say, from an outsider perspective of anything, how it appears and how it seems. And I've never been one to just recite back anything, as everybody knows. I've never been the one to just go on and say, the exact same carbon copy cookie cutter response as everybody else. And I don't think anybody else is probably going to come up with the whole, well, if you don't like orcs and D&D and stuff, you probably just don't like Dungeons and Dragons. You're thinking it too much. You're thinking too much about something that has nothing to do with this. You're missing the point of Dungeons and Dragons. Also, holy crap, thank you so much. Awakened Kanan. Is it QAnon? I don't know. I'm just here for the jiggling. Well, you know what? The jiggling is an easy thing to do when you bounce up and down all the time like me with excitement or rage or frustration. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. What do you guys say about this? D&D is about as ist as some dumb Twitter guy. Well, the people on Twitter just need something for attention. They just need something to be offended by. They just need something to what? To complain about. Something to get attention for. Bite my isms. Seriously. Bite my copyright. Bite my isms. Stop being offended on behalf of people who don't exist. Last time I checked, orcs are not real. They don't exist. Orcs don't exist. This is fantasy. And, here's the thing. You can take all of these different species of things. You can take all these different things and use that as a lesson to try and be a little bit more decent to each other. Yeah, we can use that. So if you're using this fictional race as, okay, well, this is the oppressed people of something, or this is, you know, the war vets, or this is something else, then you can take that and you could use that to teach people to be a little more accepting and tolerant of others who have different viewpoints. And that's what I struggle with every day, is being tolerant of people with different viewpoints. But at the end of the day, it's like, I just want to yell at them and say, look, you just don't like the thing. Stop pretending you like it. If you have to pick apart everything that's wrong with it, maybe you just don't like the thing. I have no problem saying I do not like the new Star Trek.
Shut the fuck up.
And I say, yes, and it's wrong because this, and this, and this. And this is why it's not good anymore, because it's not Star Trek. But you don't have people who understand any of that. You don't have people who even understand how to tell a story of acceptance or any of this type of stuff. I'm going back to Beavis and Butthead here. Beavis and Butthead were able to take the people mimic crap that they see on TV headline and put it in a story where they end up in the hospital because they're out there copying what Ben Franklin did, trying to tie a key to the car. At the end of the day, some people are just dumbasses and are gonna do dumb stuff, and we need to kind of just laugh and say, yeah, this is an example not to be this. And we need more people like the Dave Chappelles and the Ricky Gervaises out there saying, okay, enough. Look at yourselves. Look how dumb this is. This is ridiculous. We all do dumb, ridiculous stuff. I do dumb, ridiculous stuff all the time. I will, you know, the grocery store has the lines painted on which way to go. And I'm like, you know what? But the thing I need is right there, and there's nobody in the aisle. I'm just going to go in for it. I'm not going to go all the way around, go on the other side, because on the other side, I'm going to pass 20 people. You know, you got to think for yourself sometimes. You got to take some sort of reasoning. And seriously, if I'm trying to avoid being in contact with other people in a store because of the great toilet paper shortage of 2020,
I am Cornholio. I need TV for my bungo.
I'm going to go the way that there's nobody there, despite what the little arrows and stuff tell me, because I don't want somebody coughing on me. Obviously. At what point did it be okay to let the worst and the least critical thinking sort of people dictate everything we say and do and think from in society? It's crazy. It's crazy. Michael Judge, my grandpa, if he's still alive, would be pissed if he watched Picard and Discovery. He watched Star Trek since the 60s. Yeah, I'm mad. I'm mad that now all of a sudden with Star Trek, for example, I'm being told that I'm Istonphobic because I complain about a character. Because now, in like the 10 years where I was going off worrying about my life and paying rent and putting food on the table and having a roof over my head, I wasn't worrying about all these little things like what's Istonphobe and what's offensive and this and that. I was worried about, real world stuff. Like, all right, I'm going to make sure I have this much money in the bank when rent is due. Real world stuff. So these people come in and they're worried about the worst stuff, and they need to be laughed at this point. I'm just tired of it. They need to be treated like the simpletons that they're saying, oh, that's so cute. Here, shush, grown-ups are talking. This is what actually is important right now. Randy Smith, it seems any type of media is getting attacked by the SJW and NPC stuff, especially the older stuff. Exactly. That's because they don't like the older stuff, and they feel like they can't say that they don't like it. We're in this is another thing that's kind of gone along at the same time as everything else. We're in this society of, and the motorcycle agrees with me, this no negativity culture where they can't say they don't like something. They can't say, oh, no, that's bullshit. That sucks, right? Because this is just how I talk. This is how I've always kind of grown up talking. If I don't like a song, no, that's bullshit. I don't want to hear that. That song sucks. I don't worry, and I never worried about hurting the feelings of somebody who likes it, because they're going to come back at me and say, oh yeah, well, The Resident sucks, and I can't listen to them. I'm like, you know what, you're right. I can see why you would think they suck. I'm not going to take it personally, because I'm a strong enough person in what I like and dislike to not be offended if somebody doesn't like something I like. And we've kind of grown into this society of the people like the Raylos who cry over everything. If you say you don't like something, they take it personally. They take it as an attack on their character. They think they can't understand why they like something. They're just told they're supposed to like it because it has the right check boxes and the right talking points, and it's got the right amount of representation and diversity, right? And they don't understand why you don't like it. Because, oh, well, it says the right things. Yes, but it's still garbage, and it says it in a preachy way, and this is stuff I already learned 30 years ago. All right? We're past this. We've done this. We need a resurgence of the man show to come back and talk about this new resurgence of toxic, bitchy, horrible women. Let me guess. This is a woman, probably. I bet this is a woman who tweeted this out originally, right? Was this a woman? And don't contact this person. I'm sure this was probably a woman, because that's what always happens. It's always the women or the predatory men who like to take advantage of these really, really, really simple-minded women by coming in and then saying, oh yes, I am going to be offended on behalf of all of the people because I need to feel superior to them. And that's what this is. And if you disagree with them or if you call them out on their BS, then they resort to insulting you personally. I had one guy basically telling me how much of an incel I was because I liked Star Wars before it was for girls. I liked it back in the day when it was just for everybody and had a little bit of something for everyone, because that was the point of it. That was the point of Star Wars. I liked it more before it was for me specifically, because if they wanted anything for me, they would have given me this. But no, they can't do that. Ricardo Gill, the people who started this tweet were 4 white brats, 3 guys and 1 girl. Well, and the guys are always there just trying to take advantage of the women, I think, because these are the same guys, and I always point out how predatory and creepy they can tend to be. These male feminist types, they always are the first one to insult you if you don't agree with them. Like, okay, wait. I'm a woman. You just said you're supposed to respect, and you're out here being so virtuous, but at the same time, you're basically just dipping my pigtails in the inkwell, aren't you? Because you're trying to white knight, because we know that these predatory practices work really, really well on very simple-minded women. And I saw this at the Ghost concert where I got this jacket too. There was one girl going around going, oh, old white dudes, old white dudes, old white dudes. And a guy pretty much in full Ghost cosplay was there trying to pick up on her. And he's just basically going, yeah, And I knew why he was doing it. He's not going to piss off the girl he might potentially go home and hook up with for a quick, you know what? And that's all this is. So, girls, be a little bit smarter. Stop putting out this nonsense, because you know what? You're going to attract these predatory kibbles and bits boys who just want to oppress you, who want to feel superior to everybody else, and it's not too long before they start doing it to you, especially the second you don't agree with them. They get into their heads to start insulting and name calling and belittling and telling you you're wrong and telling you you're not smart and telling you you're not this or not that, because they have the need to feel superior to everybody because they're so used to it on social media. That's all it is. That is all it is. The white knight. I am going to go back to my live stream, so don't you guys go anywhere. I'm going to end the pre-recorded bit of this video, and I'll edit that down to something a little bit more reasonable for YouTube a little bit later.